Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Life's a Mom. I'm so happy you guys are here. We have a very special guest I'm very excited to have, and her name is Laura Neal, and she is a matchmaker and a mama of twins. So, Laura, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're just going to get right into it. So, I want to
Okay.
know, tell me all the deets. How did you first get into matchmaking, and when did you realize that you had a natural intuition for it?
I feel like I've been setting people up probably my whole life. Like before I was officially a matchmaker, I was the annoying friend. Like, you would be so good for this person and this person. And then so when I was in my late 20s, I lived in New York and I had a fully different career, and I went through kind of a bad breakup, and my friend at the time, she's like, you have to go meet these matchmakers. I was like, that's a real job. Are you kidding? Like, that's so awesome. And then, so I went to the office, and it was like a come to God moment or something. Like, it's a huge office. It still exists.
Okay.
It's called Lisa Clampett Matchmaking. They're great. And, now we kind of work with them a little bit, like all the matchmakers, small industry, we know each other.
Uh huh.
But so I went in there for an interview to be set up, and it's literally like Materialist with the huge office, and I'm like, "Oh, like, these people make money." Like, that's the first thing that I noticed. I'm like, "Not only is this a real career, like, this is a career," because this is a very expensive office building, like, right in, a busy area of New York. So I was like, "This is cool." So they set me up on a couple dates, and, like, the guys were like, it's typical clientele, like, very wealthy, but just didn't click with them, didn't match with them. And then I would just always, like, drop by the office when I was, like, doing castings or other things. I would just pop in and chat with them. And then I was like, they'd be like, "What did you think of, like, John? Like, he really liked you." I'm like, No, it was like watching paint dry on a wall for me. Like, I need personality, but, he could be good for this girl." And so I just sort of, like, naturally started working with them. I was like, "My friend so and so, like, she's fine with that. Like, let's set them up." And they're like, "We'll pay you for this." And I was like, "You will?" They're like, "Yeah, we'll pay you to bring in other girls, like,
Wow.
and, like, this is fine." So I started kind of creating a job for myself as a recruiter. And then, that kind of grew into, well, I'd like to do this. And, like, a lot of people want to be matchmakers, and now that I've done it a decade, like, I got a million DMs like, "I want to do this, I want to do this." Like, you have to do what I did, and you have to just go do it. You can't, like, no one's going to give you a job, no one's going to train you. It's actually a lot of work and, like, kind of hard to understand. And so when I wanted to do it myself, they were like, "Yeah, keep recruiting and do it yourself. Take your own clients, see what it's like." Like, you have to just start doing it. You have to. It's the only way to kind of learn. No one's gonna have you at a huge firm right away. But
Right.
that's how I started.
Yeah, but you kind of proved yourself. Would you say that?
Yeah, definitely. I started doing it myself. It was definitely like, hilarious at the beginning. I charged like barely anything, like not barely anything, but now I charge quite a lot, especially because I have a lot of kids and I am like well known at being really good at it. So I did it myself for a little bit, and then when I moved to Florida, the owner of Sync Matchmaking, which is like works with Millionaire Match, works with Patty, and I kind of knew her. Her name's Erica Arecchia. She reached out to me and she's like, "I saw you move to Florida," and I had talked to her before, and I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just kind of here.
Just chilling.
I'm just here doing my own thing, and I'm looking for my own husband. Like, I'm here just dating. That's my number one priority, is to
Yeah.
find a husband, have kids." And she's like, "Okay, well, I have some clients. Like, do you want them? Do you want to try? Do you want to try working with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you have clients, like, let's go." She's like, "Yeah, let's try it out. Let's see how it goes, and um, let's see if it works." So I started working with her, and rest is history. I've been working with her like 6 years.
Oh my gosh. Now this is not an easy job.
No,
I mean, you
people
enjoy
think
it.
it is. Like,
Yeah.
of course I enjoy it. People think it's really easy, and they think it's about psychology, like putting this person together, and it would be so fun. Like, it's it has fun moments, but you're dealing with the ultra wealthy, the super picky. Like, we say no a lot.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You're
At
not a yes man. You're
No, like,
like,
at this point, if you wanna become a client with me or anyone at the firm, we're gonna do a bunch of calls with you, at least 3. We're gonna show you options. If you're a guy, we're gonna show you options of real women we have in our network. Would you go with her? And if the client sees like 10 options of beautiful women with a ton going for them and only says yes to one girl, that's not a match. I'll
Right.
say, "Thanks, but no thanks. We don't have what you're looking for." I I can suggest some other firms. At this point in my life with all my kids and all I have and
Yeah.
all the changes I've had in the last 4 years, like, no.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. I mean, it's not easy,
No.
especially perfectionists, right?
Yeah.
Not nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
So what are the first things that you notice about someone that help you understand who they would be compatible with?
I wish it, like, worked like that. I think so what I do notice that stuff right away, absolutely, but people get in their own way. So, what I do, this is my method. Listen, these people pay a lot of money. So they think they want this, right? They
Okay.
think they want, say a guy thinks he wants a 5'10" blonde girl who's ultra beautiful and blah, blah, blah. But I know a girl that from knowing him, I think would be a great match, but she just happens to be, I don't know, like 5'4" and redhead instead. But he would never say yes to her photos right now because he thinks he knows what he wants. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him what he wants. I'm going to give him what he wants all day long. And then you know what? A couple months later, he's going to call me like clockwork and he's going to go, Laura, these girls are gorgeous, but there's no intellectual stimulation. I'm just not connecting with them, and I'm a really visceral person and I need to connect intellectually. And I'll say, I know, and I know that. And like, but you asked for like a blonde model, and sorry, stereotypically, they're not going to be very smart. And we live in Miami too. So
Right. Right.
so like sorry, like I'm not trying to be mean or anything.
Yeah.
There are some really smart blonde girls. I like to consider myself one, but it's really hard to find. And so yeah, anyways, I have a girl for you. She's really beautiful. She's really smart. She has 2 degrees. Will you take a look? And he's like, so then at that point, then I can really, okay, are you open now? Have you opened up the crazy stringent criteria? And usually by then they have, because they're like, okay, I need to start trusting the matchmaker.
Right. And it's a whole science to it is what it seems like. Like you have to like how you said, like you wouldn't give him the redhead right off the bat.
No, you'd say no and close the door forever.
Wow.
So,
So see, he's losing up like I get it. He gets in his own way.
mhm.
I totally get that. But I do have a
People get in their own way. People get in their own way all the time. And so, some clients are open to change and some will never be open to change. Like stereotypically, the female clients, especially, never open.
wow.
They say they're going to be, and then they're not. And it's
Yeah.
like, you know what? It's a date. Like it's a dinner.
Right.
Just go to dinner. It's really not women like, and I get, we're women. Like we overthink everything.
Mhm.
So, I'll send a great guy and my female client will be like, no, no. And I'm like, can you just go to dinner? Well, I don't see a future. You don't even know him.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
you saw a photo and like
Right.
what do you mean?
Right. My question is though, there's these beautiful women, as you say, and they are coming to you for help. So I wonder why that is.
Not for help. They're coming to be set up. I mean, ultra gorgeous, beautiful women who have a lot going for them. They don't like using dating apps. They get bombarded, they get overwhelmed, they get
Oh,
creeps, they get weirdos, they get, men just looking to hook up.
right,
So they
right.
come to us because they trust us. They are too public to be seen online. They don't want to deal with it. They want a trusted, vetted option. They want like, I wanna make sure you vetted this guy. I wanna make sure he is successful, like, enough for
Mhm.
the life I wanna live,
Right.
which is no shame in that.
No shame at
I
all.
wanna make sure like, so that's why they trust us. It's like being set up through a friend. It's like, I know this guy, he's a
Mm,
great guy. You're gonna have a great dinner. He's gonna take you to a five-star restaurant no matter what. He's gonna wine you, dine you, court you. On a dating app, you have no idea what you're getting. Dudes are like, "You up?" Like, wanna come over. Like, you're not it's not
no.
inequality. So
Right.
no, I mean, we have thousands and thousands of beautiful women, like, dying to be set up because of that, because it's, like, a curated experience.
Wow, that's so interesting. So what are the biggest green flags that people should look for in datings and when they're dating in general?
I think the biggest thing is consistency. I think a lot of people look for chemistry, and they're obsessed with chemistry, and, like, I'm a former, like, chemistry recovering anonymous, like, addict, if you wanna call it that. I think, um but I got smart just in time, I found my husband when I was, like, turning 34, which is later in life to
Wow, I didn't know
find
that.
somebody. Yeah, and before that, I didn't realize, like, how obsessed with chemistry I was, and I think I said no to, like, a lot of amazing guys because I was like, "I'm bored on this date. I don't feel the chemistry," and I still get that from women all the time. "Oh, I had a great time. I didn't feel chemistry." I'm like, "That's good. Go out again. go out again. Like, your husband isn't gonna make your stomach tumble and fall, because like, that actually means that, you're not safe actually neurologically.
No way.
Yes.
So those butterflies, that's all.
It actually means that the person's not safe for your nervous system, and, like, the chemistry, the pit in your stomach, it's
Yeah.
really actually a bad sign. People think it's a good sign. It's not. It's not. Like, I think
Wow,
if you
wow,
think
wow,
back to
wow.
someone you felt, like, amazing chemistry with, didn't it just, like, crash and burn?
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Right? So, like, with my husband, I felt safe, I felt calm. On the date, I did reach for his hand. It was a great date. Did
Wow.
I feel like, "Oh my god, no," and I almost didn't go with him again, then I was like, "No, and then, like, then it really developed, and I would say we have amazing chemistry, but it wasn't the, like, pit in your stomach. So, consistency over chemistry. Is he
Consistency.
consistent? Is he texting you all the time? Is he calling you? Men go after what they want, right?
They definitely do.
Men go after what they want.
They
So, the
definitely
guy
do.
with all the chemistry is probably gonna call you once every 2 weeks, but you're, like, obsessed with him. That's not consistent enough. That's not
Right,
consistent. Can you stay consistent for 6 months at least, right?
right.
The same effort he put in at the beginning, is he still putting that in 6 months later? Most guys with that chemistry feeling are love bombers. By 4 months, you're gonna notice a massive change.
Wow.
So, that's consistency over chemistry. It's
Yeah, I
big.
actually have some friends that are in the dating world. I'm a mom now, so I don't know what's going on in the dating
Yeah,
world, but they tell me some crazy stories.
yeah. Yeah,
Love bombing is a thing, and then they just,
huge.
like, ghost them, and they
Mhm.
kinda stop messaging, and they give excuses like, "Oh, I'm busy."
You're not
You
busy.
weren't busy 4 months ago. You're not busy enough to go and, hang out with your friends. You can literally be on the toilet and just be like, "Good morning." Like, what's so difficult about that, you know? So
A lot of people, women too, but especially men, will introduce you to an energy that they cannot maintain. They will
why is
introduce
that?
um so many reasons. It's too long to really go over. They're messed up really.
Yeah.
But they introduce you to this energy of
Yeah.
like massive love bombing, courtship, like I'm obsessed with you, blah blah blah. Usually that's either, you know, a narcissist, and what word gets thrown out. It's either a narcissist lover or a guy with a super avoidant attachment style. And unfortunately, most of the guys that are single are avoidant, because if they were secure attached, they wouldn't be single.
Interesting. Are you able to catch on when a guy comes to you and
Yes.
so you deter him?
I'll take him as a client, but I might mention it if he's open. Hi, hey, have you ever read anything about attachment styles? You know, I think you're avoidant. Yeah, I pick up on it
So you see it.
extremely easy.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's not something anyone can pick up on, right?
No, I think you have to look for the clues. I think it's getting more popular, but I think a lot of women don't understand what to look for. I mean, if someone's really avoidant, I mean, I'll never forget, I went on a date with this guy, a third date or something, and he told me, third date, started talking about the exes. What happened? And he
Okay.
said, "Oh, well, I have sleeping problems." And I'm like, "Here we go. Avoidance is high." In my mind, I'm like,
Oh my
I have sleeping
gosh.
problems, and so I sleep in a separate room from my ex, and she really didn't like that. And at the end, and I'm like, okay, thanks for letting me know. I never talked to him again. I know this guy's so avoidant. He's masking it with sleeping problems. That's really far spectrum
Yeah, yeah,
avoidance, but
yeah.
that's actually common with a lot of men. Like they any form of closeness, of like emotional like they freak out and they retreat. So I know that that's not going to work for me.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a red flag. And speaking of red flags, what are the most common red flags that people ignore?
Love bombing. Um, Obviously, like things like that, like
Yeah,
avoidance.
yeah.
Basically not trusting someone's face value. Like I feel like I coach a lot of women, and they'll tell me, "Oh, well, he told me kind of right away that he wasn't looking for anything serious." But I'm like, "Stop there. Why did you think you could? I don't care about the but. I don't care. Why did you think you could change that? He told you. He literally told you."
Right.
So, like, actions and words not matching. So the but is always, they're like, "But he introduced me to his mom, and he treated me like his girlfriend, and I really thought it was going somewhere." And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, we have to listen to
Right,
people at
right.
face value. So, actions and words not matching is massive for men and women, I think.
Yeah,
Um, and then, like, the obvious red flags, like addiction. What
right.
don't even go there. Like,
No, we'll stay away from
I
that
coach
for
women
now.
and they're like, "Oh, well, he was addicted to alcohol." Well, why'd you even date this person? But anyway.
Can I ask, is it desperation sometimes? Maybe sometimes people feel very lonely. I mean, we do live in a very lonely world. We're all in our phones and we
Mhm.
get lonely. And I see that a lot. And sometimes because they're so lonely, they just like jump to the next relationship, you know?
I think that's possible, but honestly, I think at the core of it, it really does come down to childhood conditioning. Um, I'm really into, what happened to you as a child, and I notice, it's just basic psychology as well. It was, I have a psych degree. If you had a traumatic childhood, you are going to keep dating that until you heal that. You're going to keep attracting that type of partner. Like if you had an alcoholic father, you're very likely to date a similar type of guy because that feels familiar to your nervous system. That feels like love to your nervous system. So if you had an absent father as a woman, you're going to date guys that never fully choose you, that always abandon you. So until you do the it's not even loneliness, it's like what is familiar to the nervous system and are you
Wow.
willing to work on it and change it? Or you're gonna be with it.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't think of it like that. Because we always talk about how like men go for women who look like their moms. And is that a thing? Like, I don't know. Like,
Mm, I don't know about look, but, like, I definitely I'm Jewish, I think you are too, and,
yes.
like, I don't know if you noticed, like, on Curb Your Enthusiasm how, like, Jeff is dating Susie and she's so crazy and, like, stereotypically and it's, like, very true. And my husband, he's not Jewish and he loves that show though. So he goes, "Why would a man marry someone like that?" Like, I see that. Like, I see these Jewish guys that are super putsy with, like, these, like, crazy, Jewish wives, and I'm like, "It's because they're used to it. It's
Wow.
because their Jewish mother beat them up emotionally, yelled at them, screamed at them.
The guilt. Yeah.
The guilt, all this stuff, and so they're used to it, and they say they don't want it, but then like they didn't do any work, and so they're familiar, and they marry the same woman. They end up marrying like so maybe not looks, but like I definitely think if men don't heal their childhood stuff, they end up marrying like someone just like their mother.
Interesting. Wow, I
Yeah,
love that, and I'm learning so much. So, as becoming a mom, especially a mom of twins, right?
yeah,
Has it changed how you view dating and relationships?
yeah, completely.
How so?
Like I think until you have kids you just don't understand the magnitude of how much you're really gonna need that person. Like, I just think it's so silly, like, looking back, I'm like, "Oh, I was, like, late 20s and obsessed with this guy that wouldn't text me enough," and, like, I'm just hoping to get him on a consistent texting schedule, and it's why did I even try? Like, now like, it's like my husband is doing night feedings, changing diapers, like, doing all this stuff that's
Wow.
like, why did I even entertain this person who, like, clearly isn't capable of anything like that? And I'll tell women that, it's like I coach women too, and I'll be talking to a client and they'll be like, I'm engaged to this guy, but we're having all these problems and we're, like, fighting so much. I'm like, "You don't have kids together, right?" And she's like, "No." I'm like, "End it." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "We can keep coaching, I can keep taking your money, we can keep talking about it. But if you've been together 1 year and you have all these problems already without a kid and you're thinking of having a kid, don't do it because a baby is like a little bomb. It's going to explode all of your problems that you might have, and if you already have problems, do not be with that man. You'll end up a single mother, like, sorry. I've
Right.
seen it.
Yeah, no, you're being honest
I'm
about
being
it.
honest, yeah.
Especially if you're not healed your inner child, it'll definitely trigger.
Absolutely. It's like my husband and I, we didn't get in one disagreement for like a year and a half. And then, things are great, but it's like you have a baby. We had that first set of twins, right? And it's like we're suddenly at 3 a.m. Well, you get the bottle. You get and like I'm like, oh my God, like what are we bickering about? Like
Yeah.
you're fighting about major things. Like, no. So
Yeah.
I definitely like it's different how I see it now because I'm just like I think these girls don't realize, like, the magnitude of what having children does to a relationship and how much you're really gonna need and depend on that man, and if you're already having problems early, like, he's not the one, girl.
No,
He's not
100%.
the one.
100%.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
I mean, Laura doesn't have just one set of twins. She has two and another, so five kids, two
Yeah,
set of twins and a daughter.
and a daughter.
So you really understand, and I'm sure it very much altered your, your opinion in a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
things.
like hilarious. Like I just kind of feel bad for younger me. It's okay. We all do what you know,
We didn't
we use
know
the tools we had at the time. That's what I'm
exactly,
looking for. But I'm like, why did I even bother dating that person? Like, he is not father material. Like,
but we don't think that way, and when we're young,
we don't think that way.
we're just in the moment and we want to have a good
It's
time. So
exciting. Yeah,
forgive yourself. You married an
I did.
amazing man,
I did. Yeah.
and that's amazing that he even helps you at night. And
Oh yeah,
I
he
love
does them
that.
all.
That's the best. That's the best that he helps you. I love that.
Yeah.
But do you think people date differently after they have kids? Like single moms, single dads, after they have kids and they go back into the dating world. Do you think they date differently? Like, I mean, you're saying you
If they do some work and heal themselves like I talked about and really work on that inner child trauma, otherwise they're just gonna find a different person with the same problems. Um, and I've totally seen that, like, especially with the men. Men are less inclined to do work on themselves generally.
right.
Sorry,
No,
it's
it's
just
true.
true. So I've definitely seen, like, I'll take a male client and he's divorced and he'll have kids, young kids, and what happened with you? And oh, we grew apart, and then I'll kind of find out more, and it's whatever. Then he's like dating. He'll date a girl for like 6 months, and then it's like, well, she started doing the same things that my ex did, and we broke up. And I'm like, did she start doing the same things your ex did, or did you just keep attracting the same person? And you probably should have worked it out with your ex-wife, right?
Wow. But we don't think about it in that
No,
moment.
we think this person is the problem. We don't think like, I have a lot of like shit I need to figure out and work out. And
Yeah. Have you dealt with cheaters?
I mean, yeah, but
Cheaters that come to you for matchmaking?
no, like, well, they'll say my current partner, my former partner was unfaithful, or I was, or like whatever. But I'm like,
And you work with them?
reformed. I mean, it depends. Like, if they've done a lot of work
Yeah, yeah,
and they're like, I'm not gonna do that again.
yeah.
Sure. I also think, like, unfortunately, I'm not gonna throw the rule book at you, to be honest. Like,
Okay.
I think that obviously cheating is bad, but I think it's a symptom of a way bigger problem. It's a symptom, like, of complete emotional dysregulation in the relationship. Um, I guess, especially for women, like, I have talked to a lot of women who it's like they felt alone in a marriage for 5 years before they cheated, and the cheating was a symptom of, like, how bad things were, and they, you know what I mean? And so I'm not gonna be like,
Right.
"Oh, it's so
No,
bad
no,
that you
no,
did that."
yeah.
It's like, well, he wasn't there for me emotionally, like, I felt totally alone, like, he worked all these there's always reasons.
Right, right.
I'm not
It's not like you wake up one day and being like
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
condoning it by
Right,
any means.
right. There's
That's
more to it.
There's always a deep-rooted issue, and the cheating is a symptom of, like, the illness per se.
You see, most people don't think of it like that.
Yeah,
They're like, "Oh, yeah."
yeah,
And it's true, like, I've know people in the past, who've been unfaithful, and there's always reasons for that. Not justifying it,
yeah.
I don't agree with it, but it's true. Like,
If you were to really like, they shouldn't have cheated, and most people I talk to who do cheat, they're like, "I should have just left, but I didn't, and
kids maybe.
yeah, right, right, kids or whatever, like, I regret it, I should have just left early, but I didn't." And then people only focus on the cheating part, but it's like, what really drove you to that?
Right, right. No one wants to talk about that.
Yeah, they just wanna be like, "You're bad." Like, so yeah, I'm not gonna throw the rule book at you. I think
Yeah.
we're
So
humans.
you're not judgmental,
No,
right?
we're imperfect. We make mistakes. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I hear you. And how much should people trust their intuition when dating?
again, like, it depends. It depends. Or have you done a lot of work on yourself? Have you healed your inner child? Have you worked on your attachment style? Like, if not, do not trust that thing, because that's not intuition. That's just your nervous system being like, "This is a great match," and, like, trust me, he's not, and or she's not. Like,
Right. And intuition doesn't mean that butterfly feeling.
yeah,
That's not run from that because that
it depends if you have good intuition, right? Like,
right.
I think as women, we've all been there where we, like, knew we shouldn't have dated that guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I
we
have some
all
of those.
Yeah, I have that too. And So we're like, "Oh, we shouldn't have done it." And then like it ends and you're mad at yourself and you're like, "I should have like listened to myself." Like I
Yeah.
totally have that experience from my
Yeah.
past where I'm
Yeah.
like, the dude pursued me, pursued me, pursued me. I was like, "No, no, no, no." And finally, moment of weakness, I'm like, "Okay, you clearly want to be with me so bad. Let's try." And then like just totally screwed me over and it's like, "Oh, why didn't I listen to myself?" Like
Yeah.
so
It's so interesting. They would keep trying, trying, and then when you finally give in, they're like, "Oh,
there's men like that. They want
the
what they can't
chase."
have and they're
Yeah.
obsessed with the chase. Once they get it, they're bored and they're over it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah. It's just crazy to think
Yep.
about. So, can you share a story, if you're comfortable,
Mhm.
where you just knew two people needed to meet and that it worked out, or maybe it didn't work out?
Yeah. Actually, it's 2 coaching clients.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
okay.
yeah. And look, I charge a lot to matchmake and my coachings I like to think a lot more affordable, like than being a paying client. But so I was working with this incredible guy. He's so self-aware. I love working with self-aware men because it is just really rare. And he was divorced. He has a beautiful daughter, 40s, and he's just like done so much work on himself and he wanted to coach and like how does he get back out there and dating and he kind of lives somewhere sort of remote and then I'm from Canada too, so yeah, I didn't really know, like, exactly, but anyways. And then so I was working with him, and I just really, like, enjoyed it, and he was, like, just a joy to work with and just a great person, and you grow close to your coaching clients too, I think, because you're like, "I want them to find someone so bad." Like, they really deserve it for all, like, the
Yeah,
work they're doing on
right.
themselves. And then I started coaching this woman, she reached out to me, and I swear I was like, "Oh my god, like, this is, like, a perfect match for"
You just
after
knew.
yeah, I knew right away, but I didn't tell her right away because I was like, "I don't wanna, like, freak her out." And then so, like, after a couple months of that, then I was like, "Hey, how far is, like, Raleigh from" or am I saying it right? Raleigh?
Riley?
Raleigh, North Carolina, like
Oh, yeah,
Raleigh
right. Mhm.
from some other city, anyways, he was like, "It's about a 4-hour drive." And I was like, "Okay, well, I have this other coaching client that I think actually would be, like, a really great match for you. I'm gonna set it up. It could just be a mitzvah match." Like, normally, I would charge a lot,
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
here's her profile like, I talked to her about you, I already did. I
Wow.
said, "Do you guys wanna meet?" And they've been together 2 years. They're really happy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they
Does
check
she
in.
have children?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
So, like, I think she has a son and he has a daughter, and then they have, like, a blended
That is
situation going on. Yeah, they
beautiful.
check in with me. They stopped coaching right. They like I'm like
They're like, "We're
they don't
good."
need me anymore, but, because they found each other, but it's cute and yeah, every, like, New Year's and, like, every birthday, they'll send me a selfie, like, "Thank you, Laura. Thank you for introducing us," and
That probably feels so good for
it
you
does
too.
feel good, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, monetarily, obviously wasn't too profitable. That's the thing about this job. Once you succeed, it's
Yeah.
not paying, but it's a karma thing, it's a mitzvah
Yes.
thing, like, it's fine.
100%.
It's fine.
So what advice would you give someone who feels burnt out or discouraged by dating?
Stop for a while.
Stop dating?
Stop. Not for too long, you know? We're not we're not saying to stop for 6 months, but I've been there too, where I was, like, really discouraged and burnt out. I mean, honestly, especially from the apps, they say, like, 1 in 10 dates is gonna be good. That's not very many,
No, that's crazy.
but you have to think about too, like, it's such a big ask, like, also, especially as a woman, like, I work with a lot of women who I was in this spot too, in your 30s, you're looking for your husband, you're looking for the one, you're looking for the guy to have kids with, like, think like, that is such a huge ask.
Yeah.
It's so major.
Yeah.
So of course you're burnt out. Like, of course, you're like you met like Chad on Bumble who like wasn't that guy and you're surprised. Like, it's gonna take more than that. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see women, they'll go on a couple dates from the apps and they're like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. Well, that's not the answer. But the other answer isn't just to keep going when you're burnt out because then you're not bringing fresh energy to the dates. So, like, for me, for example, when I was feeling burnt out, and I would, because I'd have a string of bad dates. I noticed for me it was kind of weird. I'd have like a string of bad ones, and then like a string of good ones. So I'd like be like, I'm on a bad streak right now. I've had like 5 bad dates in a row or whatever. and you burnt out. So then I would take 2 weeks off.
Okay, like, you would deactivate the apps.
Yeah, I would just pause them, not maybe not deactivate, just not look at them
Okay.
and not go on any dates. Deactivate, heal, go to the ocean, hang out, get more, like, centered, just bring my own energy back, and, like, if I'm feel because I was for me, burnt out meant I was feeling hopeless. I was feeling like it's not gonna happen. Again, it's a big ask. So I would feel like this isn't gonna happen. What if this doesn't happen for me? What if I never meet someone and don't have kids? What if I end up, 40 and single without kids and I desperately want a family? Like, what am I gonna do? And so I'd sit with that. And then you have to let it go. And then you have to let the grief go because honestly, all that shit isn't a guy's problem on a first date.
Right,
It's not, and
right.
he can feel it too. Men can feel it. That's why a lot of men don't like going out with women in their late 30s who want kids or early 40s because they can feel like the ticking time bomb because you
Wow.
gotta unleash that shit somewhere else,
Yeah.
and then you gotta come to the date with, like, really fresh energy,
Mhm.
and you can't worry about that. Like, my husband said, he's like, "If we're being honest, I wanted to kinda go out with someone a little bit younger because he wanted a huge family." Look, he got it. But
Happy now?
he got it, yeah, he's happy. He said on our first day, "I want 4 kids." But I was
Wow.
like, "Whoa." But, I met him at 33, and he said, like, how were you so chill? What did you do?" Because he's like, "I went out with women younger than you," where he goes, "I can tell on the first date, they're making it my problem that they haven't had," and he's like, "It's scary." And
Yeah.
it is, it's really scary for men. Like, men don't wanna feel like it's already their problem that you haven't had kids or met a husband yet. They don't
Right,
wanna feel that way, and they won't call you again because men are perceptive too.
right.
So he's like, "How did you keep yourself so cool and so calm and collected? You just acted like you really could take it or leave it and you just didn't care." And that was, like,
Wow.
so mysterious, and I kept chasing you and I kept pursuing you, and so you have to as a woman, you have to clear your energy. You have to clear the bitterness. You have to if you're burnt out, do not date.
Okay.
You could meet your husband and push him the hell away. So, like, you gotta do whatever works for you. Like, go dance, go to the beach,
Yeah, I love that advice.
cry, I don't know. Figure
Yeah.
it out.
Well,
Like
clearly it's very important, but in what way is it important? How important is emotional availability compared to attraction? Because I feel like in this world it's all about like looks. We don't think about the emotional part of it.
Yeah, like, I think that's bigger for men. I think women are always emotionally available.
It's
I don't
true.
know. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, but it's important, right? In a relationship.
Yeah, like, a man has to be open and ready for something, and again, if he tells you he's not, if he acts like he's not, if he's not consistent, believe him. Don't
Yeah.
don't chase him, like,
A lot of women think they can change the man. Oh, he had an addiction to drinking or drugs, where I can change him. Like, no, it has to come from them.
well, women fall in love with potential. It's it's
Yeah,
just part of us. Like, yeah, unless you're very aware of not doing it, we fall in love with the potential. We see the good in someone and we're like natural empaths and most of us and we're like, but he could be. It's not even like we're hoping he'll change. We're just like we see what he could be, but
it's not.
we're
Yeah.
not Barbara the Builder, so you can't.
Yeah, no, definitely not. We don't want to become Bob the Builder. But I did hear something where someone told me when I was dating, they're like, men fall in love with what they see and women fall in love with what they hear. So that kind of works hand in
Yes.
hand, and it's kind of scary to think about because it's like,
Well, so okay, so on that, that's true, and I think as a woman you have to fight that majorly because you're gonna fall in love with a love bomber.
yeah,
So, yeah, I agree. I'm a big words of affirmation person,
okay,
massive, and by the time that I met my husband, I was so fed up. I was so fed up with the words and the stuff men were saying because I feel like sorry, but, like, men will say anything to get what they want, especially in the moment, like,
uh huh, oh yeah,
they'll say anything. I was so sick of what they're gonna like, I would not take what they said seriously at all. I mean, I'd go on 2nd, 3rd dates, "Oh my god, I really see a future with her, really like you, wait a minute." I'm like, "Okay, okay, okay, sounds good. No, I'm excited. Okay, okay, okay." You know, wouldn't go home with them, and then maybe I'd never hear from them again, and that's fine. I'm like, "He just said all that shit to try to get me
yeah,
involved. It didn't work. That's fine. We're getting smarter.
yeah.
It's cool."
It's a blessing in
Right,
disguise.
and I just got so tired of what they would I wouldn't believe a word that would come out of their mouth, and honestly, that's, like, sad, but if I can give you guys any advice, if you're a woman dating, just stop believing what men say, because Men will really say anything, and you just don't know. And how you discern who is good and who is bad is you watch actions. That's it. You watch actions only. And you do not get attached to what they say. If they say on, date one, we're gonna go out next week on Friday. Oh my God, sounds good. Forget it. Forget it didn't forget it happened. You might hear from him, you might not. He might have had 2 margaritas and he just said that. He might go 3 days and think, actually, I don't know. I don't really like her. I'm not gonna ask her out." Stop getting attached to what men say. You have to watch actions. So, like with my husband, he's not a big words of affirmation person.
Same
He's
with my
he
husband.
he's very
More actions, my
yes,
husband.
all actions
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
But I was so sick of the words that the actions were actually such a breath of fresh air. Like, I remember, we were dating like 4 months. We still hadn't really, like, even defined anything because I just stopped caring by that point. It's like I had released all attachment, which is like a whole other conversation. But I had this he called me and we were supposed to have a date that night, and I said, yeah, I might be a little late because I have this couch I gotta get out of my apartment." Like, "How are you gonna get the couch out of there?" I said, "Well, I don't know." And he's like, I'll come over early and I'll do it." So he
Oh.
came in and he just comes in, like, he's 6'7", he's tall, he just grabs the couch, loads it in his car. He's like, "All right, I'm just gonna take it to my office and, like, I'll come back and then we'll go to dinner." And I remember him driving away and I was like, I think this guy really likes me because, like, he just does shit. Like, he just does it. He just gets it done. Like,
Yeah.
he does, like, actions match words so much. Like, he says he's gonna take me out, he does it. He says he's gonna come get the fucking couch, he gets the couch. Sorry, like,
Yeah.
he just is so action oriented, and he's still like that. And that's what you gotta find. You gotta stop listening to the la, la, la. But, like, yeah, it's very natural. Women, we love hearing
That's just how it is, you know?
stuff.
So, what dating rules, I'm gonna put quotations here, do you think are outdated or overrated?
I think if it's a rule, but I definitely get asked a lot, like, "Oh, like, should I wait 3 dates to sleep with a guy?" I'm like, "You should wait longer." Like, what?
Yeah, nowadays, it's like if you don't give it, like, you lose that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but also again, I'm not gonna throw the rule book at you.
Yeah.
I've seen people who get together intimately second date and they end up getting married. I don't know. You have
Wow.
to do what you feel.
Right.
I think that rule should be gone. You have to do what you feel. You have to do what you feel. I mean, I've also talked to women who they'll date someone 5 months, wait, then sleep with the guy and never talks to her again. That's more devastating. That's more of a waste of your time.
Yeah.
So you have to do what feels right for you.
Right.
You shouldn't really have, I think women have all these rules around intimacy. Oh, a big one. I hear this all the time. "Oh, he tried to kiss me on the first date and I just didn't feel comfortable." Like, but I liked him. They're like, I liked him, but
Okay.
I'm like, men wanna kiss you on the first date. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with this.
It's a kiss.
It's a kiss, like, get
I mean,
over
how
it.
many times have we gone out as college girls and we just like
Yeah, if you don't like the guy, fine.
yeah,
Don't kiss him,
right,
whatever, but,
right.
like, the amount of times that a girl will go out with a client of mine or something and be like, "Oh, well, like, he tried to kiss me and I just felt like it was way too soon and I don't want him to get a bad impression of me." I'm like, "What are you even talking about?" Like, I think here's what I think. I think when women are looking for something serious and they're suddenly, like, looking for a husband, they're like, "I gotta button it all up." And it's like, no, actually, your husband wants to see the fun part of you too. He
Right.
like, you can't be like, "Now that I'm looking for a husband, I'm gonna become a nun
Yeah,
overnight." Like,
yeah.
he doesn't wanna marry a nun.
Right,
Sorry.
right,
Like,
right.
reality check, he doesn't. A man still wants to know that you have a sensual side and you have a sexual side. And if you like that guy and you're not gonna give him like, a nice sensual kiss and you're gonna pull back and say, "Oh," don't expect a call. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
Sorry.
agree with
Like, it's
you.
like, these girls kind of I think they have all these rules. Well, if I want him to look at me like wife material, I have to do this. And there's a lot of misinformation out there, like everyone's
Yeah.
on TikTok scrolling, like, you should do this and you should dress this way and you should dress that. I mean, also that. So girls will send me outfits. I'm wearing this for a first date. What do you think? I'm like, I think you look like a nun. Like, what is that? What do you do? Like, I'm not okay. Like, I'm not saying you don't need to dress super provocative.
Right.
Don't do that. But, like, something like this is fine. You can wear a dress that's kind of short and show
Yeah.
some leg, and you don't. you know what I mean? And they'll have like a fully turtleneck
Oh
situation.
my
I'm
gosh.
like,
In Florida?
what are you doing?
Wow.
Yeah, this is Miami. Like what? And they'll have a great body too. You know, it's like now
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had 5 kids. I'm like, my great body was rocking too. It's
You
like
look good, girl,
you
really.
got to show it off a little bit. You got to
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. For sure.
yeah, like,
And also just be yourself because you don't wanna be someone you're not, and then it comes out later, like, my husband met me the way I was, and he just took it, and that showed me, like, he loves me for who I am, you
yeah,
know? And, yeah, I just think that women, we hold ourselves back, and we think we have to follow, like you said, like, the rule book,
yeah.
and then we self-sabotage.
Yeah, there's all this exactly, there's all this misinformation. I think a lot of women, without knowing it, they act like someone they're not, or they act fake, or they act like a good girl, and
Right.
they, "Oh, I want him to see me as wife material, so I'm gonna do all these things." Like, he either sees you as wife material or he doesn't.
Right.
It's there's really nothing you can really do to make that happen or not.
Right.
It is what it is.
100%. Yeah. So if you could give one piece of advice without choosing a partner early on, what would it be?
I mean, it's honestly my personal opinion that, like, okay, if a man knows what he wants, he will go after you quickly and say, I want this to be exclusive. However, the pattern I hate seeing is when these women, I coach a lot of women like this. They'll date a guy like 2 weeks literally and then be like, yeah, he's my boyfriend. And I'm like,
Oh my god.
and it crashes and burns 4 months later. They're crying. It's like you didn't know him well enough. There needs to be some discernment. Um, don't be afraid. I think it's, like, hard because there's so many F boys out there that these girls are like, "This guy wants to be with me, like, I'm chosen, I'm gonna say yes." Like, no, you don't there is nothing wrong with saying I've said this, when I was dating. "I'm so enjoying getting to know you, but I'm looking for something extremely intentional and quite serious, and I don't know you well enough to commit to you like that. I need to keep seeing and then, like, it'll show itself, right? The guy will basically show that, okay, he's cool with that. He has enough security. He's not insecure and psycho, or he's gonna show he's a love bomber right there, right? I've had it go 2 ways. They'll go, "Oh, so you're dating other guys," and like freaking out, crashing out in front of me. I'm like,
Oh,
okay, well, this is a no, right?
right, right,
Or they're gonna be respectful of your boundary and say, "Yeah, absolutely." And you know what? They're gonna try harder. They're gonna court you harder. They're gonna be like, "This girl is not so easy.
right,
She doesn't just commit to anybody.
right, right.
She needs to." I'm like, I just need to see more action, consistency.
Yeah,
Period. I think women are in a huge rush to get exclusive, to get committed. It's like
yeah,
you don't even know this person.
right. Sometimes I think women just have their mind on like, I want to get married and have kids. I want to get married and have kids. That's the
Yes.
goal. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yes.
But then when you're in it, you have kids, it's like it's more than that. It's not just about getting married and having children. The kids get older, they leave the house, and then it's just you and your spouse.
They look at it like a problem to solve.
Yes.
And it's like, yes, a
Yeah.
lot of my female coaching clients, I noticed that right away. I'm like, all right, we need to reel it in. You're looking at this like a problem to solve. And they're so stressed and they have so much anxiety about it. Exactly that. The next guy that comes along that wants to be with them, they're like, okay, look, I solved the problem. No, you didn't.
Right.
And 6 months later, it crashes and burns. Or actually worse, they end up marrying that guy, having a kid with that guy.
Mm.
And 2 years later, they're like, I hate him
Yeah.
and I want a divorce now. And then you're in a worse place,
Right.
you know?
100%.
So
Well, you're amazing. You do so much amazing work. I
thank
don't even know how you have the patience for it, but you are amazing.
I don't have it anymore. Like that's when you become a mom, you're like the filter goes away. And I
Yeah.
think yeah, like my clients either like they really love me because I'm very upfront, but I'm not for everybody because I will tell you what's going on.
No, I love that. I love that. I'd rather you be real with me than,
Yeah.
fake and just be like, whatever,
Yeah.
like you. And plus, it's your passion. You've been doing it for a very long time. You enjoy it. And if there is anyone who is struggling, I'm going to tag her Instagram, all her information in the description. Laura, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.